Hello everyone, and welcome to bonus coverage of Ag Connect Expo, AgriTalk OnLine. We are in Atlanta, Georgia for the second Ag last year for the first time in Orlando, Florida. Here in Atlanta this year in conjunction with the American Farm Bureau Federation meeting. Will not be held next year. It comes back in 2 years in Orlando, Florida. It is a very large show, a lot of equipment here, a lot of seminars, a lot of information available to producers, whether it's about the new technologies, a lot of talk about weather, about markets, and about products and services. And we're going to talk about that here on our bonus coverage, AgriTalk OnLine. We have some information concerning Valley Irrigation, and we're very happy to have with us, first of all, Jake LaRue. Jake is a manager of project and product support international division for Valley Irrigation, and we're going to talk about Valley's variable rate irrigation zone control, and then we're going to talk with Kevin Abts from Crop Metrics and the formal agreement with Crop Metrics, a precision ag data services company that specializes in variable rate irrigation technology. So Jake, we'll kind of turn it over to you and kind of set this up here. What are we talking about when we're talking about variable rate irrigation zone control?
Well, it's the opportunity for us to really precisely apply the amount of water you want in a particular area of the field. Traditionally, with center pivots, you set it to apply an inch of water and the whole field's going to get an inch. We know that that's not necessarily optimum. We got different soils, we got different things going on in the field. We may want to change that. And so with the variable rate technology, it allows us to have, with the zone control, up to 5,400 management sectors or zones around the field. So you can actually be having anywhere from 0 to an inch at the same time.
So we're talking about better management of water as a crop input like we see with fertilizer now.
Absolutely, and we know the precision ag has progressed with the fertilizer, the spraying, now with the planters, in many cases being able to do variable rate. This is really the final step in this to allow a farmer to have the optimum control. And from a hardware standpoint, it's been pretty easy to put together and get organized. And what becomes critical is to make sure the farmer has the tools to be able to use it well, which is where we looked at bringing Crop Metrics in, because the soft side or the management side of it is so critical.
And before we go to Kevin Abts, tell us about the agreement with Crop Metrics.
We've just recently finalized our working relationship, and I'm going to apologize because I don't know the right language to say. I will blotch it, so I'm not going to say anything as far as the right terminology. But we have a exclusive relationship with them, working with us to support the Valley dealers across the country and the customers too.
Let's bring in Kevin Abts from Crop Metrics, and he can explain how will this work, Kevin.
Well, basically, Crop Metrics is a precision ag company that specializes in data services. And so our relationship with Valley and Valley Irrigation is to provide the precision components that would relate to working with field data, whether that's various EC data, topography data, yield data, or otherwise, to break the data down and look to see what is the opportunity to improve water management using Valley controls on a level never really achieved before.
I mean, the bottom line, as we were just talking about, all parts of the field don't need the same amount of water, right?
Not necessarily. Depending on the variability of the soil and the variability of the landscape of the actual field that we're working in, there definitely seems there would be opportunity to match irrigation rates specific to soil types and the water holding capacity of those soils.
How much can you break down a field to how many parts, how many zones?
Well, depending on the level of control, the simplest and most cost-effective way would be what we call an advanced speed control, where we can control the speed every few degrees of the machine based on a GPS position. And we're simply matching in pie slices the application rate to the soil type within that slice. The next level, of course, would be to add the Valley zone control, where we're controlling individual banks of sprinklers. And then if we go to that level, it's virtually unlimited. 5,000 zones or more could be achieved.
How complicated is this going to be for a producer using a Valley system to move into this?
Well, with our program, we've really simplified it to where we can collect some valuable field data, analyze that data, break it down, determine what the best design is, do a cost-benefit analysis, and the Valley dealer can then install the appropriate controls. And then Crop Metrics offers a service where we'll write the prescriptions and help the irrigator manage those zones using the Valley technology.
Okay, Jake, then for a producer working with you at Valley, what's available to them and when?
Well, the zone control is available right now. We had it in the field last year. We're not a research organization, but the ones that we track closely had between 12 and 13% water savings without really focusing on that part of it. So that's available right now, and customers can see their Valley dealers for it. The speed control is being released in March, and it's just software. Many of our growers already have Pro 2 panels or Select 2 panels, and it's just a software upgrade to bring them up into the first step of variable rate irrigation control.
Yeah, so they don't have to purchase new equipment, a new center pivot or anything like that. I mean, they can add this to what they have.
Absolutely. We've added on to one machine we did last summer was a 1979 Valley center pivot, and we just updated the controls on it. So there's a whole wide range designed to give options to the grower and really meet his needs, and he can grow with it. He may decide he wants speed control, and somewhere down the line he says, oh, you know, I really need more, and so we can add on and move on into zone control.
So you have options, you have flexibility.
Absolutely, and that's really, I think, is important to the growers, to allow them to understand what this can really do for them. And some of the numbers look really good and people get really excited, but it's like, you know, farmers are like, well, I want to really see how this all works out. So we're trying to make it as easy and flexible as possible to get into it.
Well, the bottom line is efficiency, and this could be a big step towards water use efficiency.
Absolutely, and it's not just the water, it's also where we're applying fertilizer with the water. We saw some significant savings in nitrogen in one field last year that we were working with, because we are controlling the water with the nitrogen then also.
Another step in precision farming.
Absolutely, and we started looking at what we could do with micronutrients. I mean, there's just a huge broad range of directions that we can go with this, and we're just started on the way doing that. We've got to partner with the right people, such as Crop Metrics, to make sure that we can provide the full service. Just the hardware is not enough. I'd love to say it is, but you got to be able to manage it and utilize it, and that's where we feel we've got absolutely the best integrated package in the industry.
So farmers should ask about it, ask questions of their Valley dealer.
Absolutely.
All right, the Valley Variable Rate Irrigation Zone Control product, and already has been recognized as quite an advancement in the industry.
Yes, that's correct. We received an award yesterday from the American Society of Ag Engineers, or Ag and Biological Engineers, in the AE50 program.
Off and running, and producers need to take a look at this and see how it can improve their efficiencies, their management of their inputs on their field. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I want to also mention Crop Metrics also received an AE50 award yesterday for their program.
So congratulations, Kevin.
Thank you, Mike. And one thing I might point out too, the technology we're talking about is compatible with any center pivot irrigation system with electric drives, so it's not just limited to the Valley line of center pivots. So I think it's a great opportunity for everybody to look into zone irrigation for their center pivot operations.
So it's a good concept for everyone using irrigation, but Jake, I know you'd like for them to especially use it with Valley, right?
Oh, yes, we always want them to use Valley, but and we know many Valley owners have older machines, or they have land they rent or anything, and again, it's a matter of flexibility. We want to be able to work in any situation to give the farmer every advantage possible.
Very good. Jake LaRue with Valley Irrigation, and Kevin Abts from Crop Metrics. Again, find out more Talk with your Valley dealer about variable rate irrigation zone control. Thank you both for being with us. We'll take a break and continue with more from Ag Connect Expo in Atlanta, Georgia. You're listening to AgriTalk Online.